The Museo de America is located in Madrid, Spain. It's an art, archaeology, and ethnography museum devoted to the Americas. Much of the pieces came from the National Archaeology Museum and the Prado Museum. The museum itself was founded in 1941. So few artifacts of the ancient people of the Americas remains due to the greed of the early conquistadors, a desire to wipe out what were considered pagan religions of the people, and also a fire in 1734 that destroyed most of the American collection that the King of Spain had been building, which included the pieces offered to the crown by Cortes and his conquistadors. I went to the museum because of the connections it has between the Aztec, other early American civilizations, and the desert Southwest, specifically Utah and the ancient people that lived there, their known and lost history, and an attempt to piece certain issues together in order to get a better understanding of gold, treasure, historical artifacts, and ancient deities of large stature that remained hidden below ground in the Uinta Basin and mountain area. We know from old maps, pre-Hispanic and post-Hispanic Aztec codices, and journals from conquistadors, including Cortes himself and Bernal Diaz del Castillo, that a large treasure was lost on the Night of Sorrows and never recovered. This included 3,500 pounds of gold and other precious artifacts, not to mention what was hidden and never seen by the Spaniards. What is not understood is that much of the treasure came from elsewhere and was rarely of true Aztec origin. Most of the treasure was given to the Aztec as tribute payment once other groups were conquered by the Aztec, who were as ruthless as the conquistadors. The artifacts were made for tribute payments or were from older cultures that no longer existed at the time. A lot of gold was also acquired by the Aztec using their traders, who doubled as spies for the empire. They were known as the Pochteca. We know from oral traditions of the Pueblo people of the desert Southwest that the Pochteca were up in what is now the United States, trading and prospecting in what was the origin area for many Mesoamericans, even before the Aztec Empire came into existence. The Aztec would have been aware of all the gold available in northeastern Utah. This also meant that the Spanish would have got this knowledge after they conquered Tenochtitlan in August of 1521 and would have immediately been searching for the lost treasure and the mines of gold. I've been locating many Spanish coins in the Uinta Mountains. I believe this was either due to the Spanish losing the coins while prospecting or mining, or trading to the indigenous people for information. Those indigenous people then used the shiny coins to make jewelry never before seen by the local groups in Utah. Remember that clues to lost history and the Aztec treasure can be found anywhere, including Europe. We can now track the artifacts being found to cultures and civilizations as far down as South America, but that had connections to the Aztec at the end of their reign. Unfortunately, we also know that a lot of history was lost due to the Spanish melting down most artifacts that were made of gold, including golden plates and sheets with written history upon them. In order to find the lost treasure of the Aztecs and the ancient origin site they hid it in, we'll need to branch out our search for clues and information. This will need to include places in Spain, Mexico City, the Four Corners region of the desert Southwest, and even as far south as Ecuador and Peru. Understanding the artifacts that were left behind and survived will help us learn how the Aztec lived, how they functioned, and hopefully where they would have hidden something so precious to their empire. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for future videos discussing lost history, cultures, and even the ancient deities of great stature.